Hey everyone, it's Andre Luck here to share my video for this week, where I'm going to talk about the fourth stage of the B2B Sports Revenue Framework, which is around the renewal and post-sale process. And for me, I think this is the most undervalued part of the process. I made this mistake when I was in sales and even in leadership that I placed so much value on going out and hunting and finding new business that there's so much opportunity in your current book of business that if I could go back, I probably would have went towards the service and retention side versus clawing my way through new sales and trying to talk to people that didn't want to buy from me. Rather leveraging the opportunities with the current account. So in this video, I'll cover three things: common mistakes that teams make when it comes to handling the post-sale and renewal process, setting up renewals during the sales process. So as you're making the sale, how are you already planting the seed for that renewal? And then third, systems and processes you could put in place so that you're looking for expansion and growth and referral opportunities so that you're getting your customers to stick with you and do business with you for a long time, not just a one and done kind of pilot test case. So before I jump in, also just want to point out, the backdrop here before I get started. My mom told me that she was tired of looking at my ceiling and my vent, so I did something about it. So if you have thoughts, definitely share those comments. Feedback, much appreciated. But let's jump in. So, why the post sales process is so important and why it matters. It's more profitable for you to invest your dollars in renewals and retention versus new sales. It costs almost 5 times more to acquire a new customer versus keeping your current client. You've already done all the work, you've already got them on board. Now, let's just pour into them and make sure that we keep them, because when you have that leaky bucket, it takes so much work to go out and find new business. And I've seen this and experienced this firsthand as a seller and as a leader. So it's just more profitable. But also, the renewal process also kind of informs your strategy from a new sales perspective. When you set your revenue targets, really the new sales number is, all right, what do we expect to get from renewals? And the rest kind of gets dumped on new sales. But if you're taking the cues and seeing what current clients are telling you, that helps kind of fuel your new sales motion and what to expect from a new sales perspective. And a lot of my top sellers, when it came to new sales revenue, were on the service and retention team. One, because they had the book of business that they could tap into. But if they did that well, they were set up well to get referrals and everything like that to drive our new sales effort. So they were very profitable and highly productive. The other thing I'd say is why it's so important. It helps give you social proof. We're always thinking of like, all right, what's going to attract new clients, and what's a creative strategy we could do. And we study other teams. Just talk to your current clients. Like, they tell you why they purchase, they tell you why they buy, what they like, what they don't like. And if you could use testimonials, stories, case studies, and put that in your messaging, you're gonna have so much more success acquiring new business. Like, even taking like a quote from one of your current clients and putting that in a subject line of one of your emails to for new sales outreach. Like, that'll get someone's attention because you're taking words directly from your customer's mouth, not whatever jargon or marketing content you came up with. So I'll talk more specifically about B2B clients, but a lot of this plays into your B2C clients as well. So where I've seen teams struggle, and I've fallen victim to this as well, so I'm not calling anybody out. One thing is, a poor handoff experience. You do all this work to finally acquire a new season ticket holder, a new group client, or a new suite client, and you just kind of dump them off to the service person. There isn't much exchange in like why they purchased. Sometimes it's a poor experience for them to receive their tickets in the app. And so we can do a much better job. One, as a salesperson, we need to take ownership of knowing what that looks like on the other side, not just saying, oh, well, it's the service person's job. Like, we need to take it all the way through sale and all the way to renewal and talk through what that process looks like. Another place that I see teams get it wrong or struggle is they take the same approach for B2C clients versus B2B. When you purchase as a consumer, so for family, friends purposes, or you're just a big sports fan, it's different than if you're buying for business purposes. And so typically we give them the same experience. What we could do, and I'll touch more on where the best teams have success, is maybe have someone dedicated to handling all your business accounts, or at least have everyone well versed in being able to speak and handle business accounts, because there's different goals. There's probably different benefits that maybe they're looking for, different outcomes they're looking to have. So creating different experiences, whether it's a consumer account, like a super fan, or they're doing it for family purposes versus business use, and what their goals are and everything like that. The other area that could be improved is a lot of times we take a customer service approach where it's very reactive versus a proactive customer success approach. And what I mean by that is when you're looking from a customer success perspective, you're working with them to help them achieve their goals and outcomes. So you understand what it is they're looking to accomplish, and you're proactive in going out and seeking that. Where a lot of times we're reactive. If someone, struggling to get their tickets, or they need to add on additional tickets, they want to take advantage of the exchange program. Like, we have really nice customer service people that can help with that, and that's part of the skill set you need for someone who's managing accounts, especially in ticket sales, because some of those clients could be needy. But we can be a lot more proactive and look from a commercial business perspective on how are we making sure this person's getting utilization? How are we looking to renew, get referrals, grow these accounts, especially on the B2B side? So, where I've seen the best do this well in sports, out of sports, they have sellers who are focused on growth. Like I said, a lot of times you take someone who's really nice, maybe a little more passive, but they really love their job. Their customers love them, and we put them in a service and retention role. And the best that I've seen, that I've worked with in that experience, account management type role, they have a sales mindset. So what I would do is take some of my sellers who also have the skill set to be organized and task oriented, and the empathy to manage accounts and deal with struggles, and put them on that side of the business, because they could likely grow more out of the current accounts than going out and getting new business. And if they have that new sales mentality, they're going to go out and find new business anyways. So, putting more people that have come up through sales, that have a sales background on the service and retention side, and making sure that they have the skill set to manage accounts too, because there is a certain skill set and characteristic that's needed in that role. Other things that I've seen people do well, they have a well documented process. We talked about the handoff process. So, exactly what it looks like from handoff. Like for a B2B account, maybe you're actually setting up a call and introducing them, or bringing the new account manager out to meet with them one to one, so that they know that this is a highly valued account, that you value their experience, and that you're not just passing them off to somebody, you're actually walking through and making that handoff for you. So documenting what the handoff process looks like, doing an onboarding session, whether that's virtual or in person, making sure that they know how to manage their tickets. And then defining success, like what does that look like for them, specifically on the B2B side. I was actually talking with a team today, and talking with one of their leaders, and like one of the things that we really like to focus on is having conversations around business outcomes. So yes, it's great that a business person is buying, may be a huge fan of the team, but when they go justify this to their CFO, like what's the ROI that we're going to get out of it? And we need to help them set them up for success. That's going to help you get more renewals, because at the end of the year, you're going to ask them to come back to you, or come back and maybe spend more with you. But they need to justify this internally. Their CEO, their president, their CFO is like, hey, why do we have sports tickets? Like, what was the impact we got of it? And it was just like, oh, I took care of them when they needed to. And, every time they needed me to exchange their tickets, I did a good job. Like, that's not going to cut it. Like, we need to make sure that we're outlining their goals and outcomes and objectives for purchasing the tickets. And how do we walk with them through that? And a good way to do that is to set up what I call quarterly business reviews. And so I coach this in a lot of our training, but meeting with your business accounts or your highest spending accounts on a quarterly basis to really learn about their business. A lot of times we're trying to upsell them into a suite. We're trying to get them to buy a group. We're trying to get them to renew. And there are definitely times in the year where we should have this set up and mapped out. But with this quarterly business review, you're just learning about what's going on with them. I had an account manager when I had LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and I talk about this a lot, and she set up quarterly business reviews. And I was like, all right, well, we'll see what comes of this. But it really helped me a lot. I got to see who was using the product. When it came time to renewal, I had the stats and the data as to why, as I was getting questions on like, hey, what's the value here? What's the ROI we're getting? She had that all mapped out for us. She would lay out, new product updates that I could look forward to. Like, I got excited for these conversations because it was adding value to me. And, for her to learn what's going on in her business, she could then prescribe things and opportunities for us to grow. So it's the same with us with our business accounts. Like, what are they looking to do? They have a new campaign that they're looking to go after. They have new goals that they're looking to hit. They missed the mark last month and now they need to reallocate their efforts? And how can we help them through that? Like, you're going to learn a lot that's going to lead to cross sell, upsell, referral opportunities just from these organic conversations that you're having with them. So setting up quarterly checkpoints where you could check in with them and see how things are going.